Oh, Daisy Ridley, I love this so much. Thank you so much for what you just said. Daisy Ridley just confirmed every single thing that I and many others have been saying for years. That the Disney trilogy, the trash fire known as the Disney Star Wars trilogy, never had a plan. There was never a plan. Imagine getting your hands on the most anticipated sequel of all time and not having any plan whatsoever. None. Right after The Last Jedi, it was obvious to everyone. And yes, it was obvious to a few people during The Force Awakens. I can't claim that. But after The Last Jedi, there was no doubt whatsoever that Disney had absolutely, positively no plan whatsoever. Kathleen Kennedy has now been confirmed as literally the worst leader of all time in the entertainment business. There is no defending this now, but there hasn't been any defending it, but you've got nonsensical lunatics that are still trying to defend it. But now, with John Boyega speaking out, we've had other people speaking out, and now we have Daisy Ridley, the star of the film, who plays Rey. And we said Rey had no plan. There was no plan to develop this character. We continued to hear them try to spin the story over and over and over again. And now here we have it, and we're going to listen to it from Daisy Ridley. Price of Reason actually tweeted this out, so shout out to Price of Reason. Let's listen to the words of Daisy Ridley herself.
Have you been keeping Rey's secret from the beginning? Did you know about the parentage? Like, tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning, there was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went, there were like different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So then even I was filming, and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Like, seriously, how pathetic is this trilogy? There is no defending it. It's over. We were right. We were right from the start. We have always been right. And all it took was a little bit of common sense. All it took was a little bit of common sense. It doesn't mean that you have to hate these movies. You can like them. They're not good, but you can like them, and that's okay. Because one thing we've noticed about sequel trilogy fans is they have no ability to have critical thinking whatsoever. They only think in one direction. They can't see any other perspectives, and if you don't like this movie, then you are an ist or an ism. There is no nuance whatsoever with these people. None. It's just straightforward. And they don't understand that it's okay to like bad movies. So again, nobody is telling you you can't like these movies. Hell, I loved The Force Awakens when I saw it, and that's fine. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did. At the end of the day, after it was all said and done, The Force Awakens was fool's gold, which I've said multiple times. I fell for it, absolutely. But The Last Jedi is not a good movie. The Rise of Skywalker is not a good movie, and The Force Awakens is not a good movie. None of them are good movies. They're just not. You can like them, but they're not good, and they never had a plan. And these actors are sick and tired of it. Like, they don't want to be part of this anymore. No one's looking for the next chapter in Star Wars. No one cares. This is the worst trilogy in the history of cinema, and it's terrible for a lot of reasons. But first and foremost, Kathleen Kennedy is the main reason. But they were never going to be good because they were never focusing on the right things. It was always about identity politics. It was always about, we have to cast a woman. We have to cast a non-white dude. We have to push for inclusion, diversity. The Force is female. This was never about Star Wars. And Daisy Ridley, just like John Boyega did just a few days ago, just confirmed that. We all knew this. There's no defending it anymore. If you're out there trying to defend the creative choices of this trilogy from Disney and Lucasfilm, you are holding a giant L right now. A giant L. And it is fucking hilarious because there are nonsensical lunatics out there that are going to continue to try and defend it. But the reality of it is you are holding an L, a giant L. And you're probably used to that because you've been doing it your whole life and you more than likely have pronouns in your bio, which means you've been holding an L for a long time. And that is the end of the discussion. So thank you, Daisy Ridley. Thank you. And I don't think this is the last that we're going to hear. Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, and everyone involved with the creative process of these movies will never be forgiven. I once a JJ fan, and I do still like some of JJ's stuff. I like his Star Trek movies. I like Mission Impossible 3. I like a lot of the things that Bad Robot has done from the TV side. But moving forward, I'm done with JJ Abrams. I've lost all respect for JJ Abrams, not just because of this, but because of the nonsensical little pamphlet that he and his company Bad Robot wrote just recently, their virtue signaling and all of their nonsense. But this Star Wars stuff definitely plays a huge role into it, and I have absolutely no respect for J.J. Abrams whatsoever. And of course I don't have any for Rian Johnson, and of course I don't have any for Kathleen Kennedy, but I do like Daisy Ridley. John Boyega, I feel like John Boyega is being very opportunistic right now with everything going on, but I like what he's saying about Disney Star Wars, and I hope these actors, do well moving forward. I like Daisy Ridley. That was one of the reasons I did like The Force Awakens a lot, too. I really enjoyed her as Rey, and I enjoyed her performance, but ultimately, as soon as The Last Jedi got there, it was really obvious that there was no plan, and this character was written simply to be a strong whammon and not just a good character. And there are plenty of amazing female characters in cinema, in video games, in, comics. But Rey was simply written as a woman to be a woman because the Force is female and we got to have a woman and we're going to advertise her as a woman and we're going to let everybody know that women can be in movies and this is this and blah, blah, blah. Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So, thank you, Daisy Ridley. All of the tiers on Twitter, even though I am not on Twitter with my personal account anymore, I am going to enjoy watching the tiers flow from all of the Raylos out there because Raylos are weird. But other than that, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.